guys, my attic fan went out and I found it. It used to be made by Clark United Corp in Dallas, Texas. Home Improvement Supply sells it. This is it right here. They have a 30-inch and 36. I have the 30-inch version, and I don't need the actual housing. All I need is the pump, or the motor I should say. It's right here. You click on that, it's $140.97. I'm gonna go ahead and buy that, because what's happening to my pump is when it's on, it's working fine, but sometimes it'll like act like it doesn't have enough power. And if I turn it on low setting, the fan will actually struggle to stay on, which is really weird. So I'm just going to replace the whole motor. I believe this motor comes with the capacitor as well. Okay, I got my new attic fan motor in the mail today, and it came with a capacitor. And the first thing I did was I switched out my old capacitor with a new one, just to see if the problem would be solved. And no, it's the motor itself, because when I go to high, it sounds okay just like the other one, but when I go to low setting, that's when it starts making noises and struggles to stay on. Hear that? Half the time it'll shut off. See, it's slowing down. So that tells me it's not the capacitor, it's the actual motor. That's what it looks like. It looks similar. So I'm gonna go and swap this one out and see if it fixes the issue. See, it's got 3 wires, black, red, white. Then you got the other 2 wires for the capacitor. All right, there's the old fan motor. There's a little casing here. You take this screw off to get to the electrical in the inside. Disconnect that first. Got 4 bolts, 2 on this side and 2 on the other. Disconnect your capacitor up top. You can see I already tried the newer one. Okay, when you disconnect them, always make sure you ground them like that, because they might have power in them still. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. Disconnect it first. Real simple. It's, you know, it's got the neutral, and then it's got the black and red wire. Okay, I think one is high and low, I think. You might want to disconnect the power. I'm so used to working it without doing it, but I wouldn't do it if I were you. I would always disconnect the power. Yeah, you don't want to get shocked. And I ran this motor for about 5 minutes, and it's super hot to the touch. Like, I don't think it's supposed to be this hot. So that's another telltale that the motor's going bad. All right, some things I gotta remove. I gotta take this connector here off and switch it to here, because this one doesn't have one. Also the pulley, this pulley here is not connected on here, so I gotta remove the old one and change it out to the new one. It looks like there's an Allen head here that holds that on. Yeah, and this is an adjustment here. You loosen this up and this pulley comes off. Alright, I'm disconnecting both sides. And that'll loosen this whole bracket up. Alright, and this belt comes right off. Then you gotta take these ones out, and then the motor comes out. Took this boot from the other one, capacitor. You want that on there. Just goes in through the hole. So that could electrocute you if you get up here and you touch those. Give you a good shock. The next thing, take this off, because this bracket you need, it doesn't come with it. It does have a hole which is on the other side, which is fine. You can mount it there. My guess is this capacitor probably still good, but I'll just use the new one that came with it. Alright, turn this thing over and you can see there's an Allen head here. Just gotta loosen that up. Just pull that thing all the way out. Alright, to get this pulley off, just use a pry bar like this. Get it in there and just start pushing up on it like that. Use that just to get the last bit of it off. There we have it. There's a flat side on this side here, and that's where the key goes, the Allen key. The new ones should be the same way. This one was made by General Electric. It's probably 30-40 years old. Let's see if there's a date on it. It tells you the capacitor needs to be 10 microfarads. Assembled in Mexico. Wonder if this is not the original. Alright, you can see the flat edge there. So I'm going to line that up with this hole. Slides in real nice. You don't want to go all the way down where it's rubbing. You gotta have it up somewhat. So I'm just going to raise it up just a little bit and then tighten it down. Alright, after you bolt these bolts back up, 4 of them, you want to make sure this belt is level here. Because if it's too low or too high, it's going to cause this belt to eventually slip off. So it looks like I'm a little bit low, that I need to be raised up. So I'm going to take the Allen key and loosen that up again and raise it up a little bit so it's more flat. Alright, so now my belt's, I raised it up, lifted about a 1/8 of an inch from the top, so it's not rubbing. That seems to be nice and flat for me. Okay, so now when you tighten this down, you don't want to over tighten the belt, because it actually will, it says right on there, if you tighten it too tight, it can make your motor run hot and shut off. So we don't want to have this super loose like this, and you don't want it super tight. So you just push back on these before you tighten it down. That's all you do to tighten it up. I'm going to pull this back just a little bit. Alright, so I didn't do it super tight, but you can see there's some play in there still on both sides. But you don't want it super loose that it's going to come off. Okay. Everything's spinning, it's not making any noises, nothing's hitting on nothing. Alright, now let's get this capacitor put back on. It's going to go just like that. My other one mounted on the other side, but that's okay. I don't think it matters which one of these you use. There's 4 of them. I'm not sure why there's so many. So it doesn't really matter which one it goes on. Just make sure you put this rubber boot back on it, because you don't want to get shocked. Next, I ran my cable through here, my electrical, and I'm just going to tighten this down. Don't over tighten this. You don't want to short it out either. Some people go so hard and then they end up with a short. Just enough so it doesn't pull on it. Alright, and then we'll just run the red, black, white together, and put the ground. Use a little ground nut right there in the back. I'm gonna wrap that ground around it real good. Make sure it holds. All right. And then we'll do this white one first. I'm gonna do the red one. And then we'll do the black one. And this is hot, so I had to be careful not to touch this to the ground. Now it's all good. Again, disconnect your power if you don't want to get risk getting electrocuted. Me, I'm just kind of dumb, so too lazy to go down there and flip a switch. All right, there we have it. New capacitor and new motor. Only thing it needs now is just gotta put a staple in this right here at the bottom. All right, let's see if this thing works. All right, so high's working, but does the low work? That's what I had problem with the other mower, is low. Okay, it's not making any weird noises, so it's fixed. It was definitely the motor. I was thinking it might have been the capacitor, but nope. That motor is fried. All right, job done. You can see how hot I am from being up in the attic. This feels so much better, having this cool air being in the hot air being sucked out of the attic. Even if you have an air conditioning system in your home, one of these would greatly help out clearing out the heat from the attic space. All right, that ain't going nowhere. And that's on low setting. It's already cooled out my attic after about 1 minute of use. Just a few minutes ago, I was sweating up in here. As long as you have some place for the air to go. Me, I got 2 vents, static vents. There's one there, and there's another one here, right there. Okay, so this will blow up your hot air and it'll shoot it right out of the roof. All right, that's it for this video, guys.